The Alpha's Rejected One. Episode 8. Lincoln. Gather some warriors. I want those rogues and that so-called Alphas brought here, Dad growled as we moved down the hall. We had gotten to Holly's room, but her scent was weak. She hadn't been there for days, telling us that she's staying somewhere else, but now we needed to figure out where. I linked Lee and Danny, telling them to keep their eyes open. Holly may show up there, I told him. He nodded. He stopped at the entrance to one of the tunnels, pushing it open, but there was no trace of her coming this way. Growling, he slammed it shut. It will take a week to check all these tunnels. There are too many of them. Are there any other places she usually goes? What about friends? She would always hang with Alena and her twin sister, but what the guards had noticed when she wasn't giving them the slip was she hasn't been with them lately, and one girl is freshly mated. What about that idiot's sister? River asked. They seem to be friends. That's right, she was hanging with her for a while. Looking over at Dad, we can question her. She may know something. At this point, it couldn't hurt to ask her. I don't like this one bit. That girl is up to something. I can feel it. I agreed. She was proving to be up to something, and not knowing was the worst, and having them rogues with that Alpha on territory was making us all edgy. I will question her. I want you and River to bring me those rogues and the Alpha. I do not want them sitting out there and giving Holly a chance to put her plan in motion. We're on it. Dad nodded, walking away with the few guards following him. River and I went the other way. I was just about to open a link to Carter when Lee called out through the link, "Rogues!" Lee, sir, we are being attacked. There are about 10 rogues. They showed up out of nowhere. Lee, where is the group and the Alpha? I am not sure. We got pushed back trying to fend them off. I cursed out loud, sprinting down the hall. Once outside, I shifted. River behind me. Why would more rogues appear? How did they get through the patrol without Mitch to help slip them through? The smell of rot hit my nose as I drew closer to the fight. Lee and Danny were fighting the rogues. I saw one lying dead. Both had 3 rogues fighting them. One jumped on Danny's back, biting down on his shoulder, making him growl, letting out a roar. I rushed forward, ripping the wolf off Danny. Twisting his head, I heard the snapping of his neck. Dropping his body, feeling a sharp pain in my leg, and looking down, one of the rogues got a bit on me. Kicking my leg out, he let go as he rolled backward. Getting up and snapping his jaws at me, he made a lunge for me again, sidestepping him, sinking my claws in his side, slashing his side wide open, whimpering as he dropped to the ground. Moving to hover over him, snapping his neck, hearing more snarls, he looked up to see River had also taken down 2 of the rogues. Danny had his claws buried in the belly of one, and Lee held one down but wasn't trying to kill him off. Shifting as I came to stand next to Lee. Shift! I growled at the rogue. He had no other option but to shift back. As he did, he struggled in Lee's hold. How did you get here? Shaking his head, he spit at me, earning himself a hard slam to the ground. I'll ask again. If you don't tell me, I'll let him rip out your throat. Lee gave a squeeze, making him cough, his hands trying to pry Lee's hand off his throat. How did you get past my patrols? I don't know. Luke led us here. Luke. He lifted his hand, pointing to one of the dead bodies lying a few feet away from us. he your guy's leader? Nodding his head, yeah, he told us it would be easy money, so someone hired you? Who? Shaking his head, I don't know. Luke met with them, not me. I do as I am told, someone paid them, damn it, I didn't wait, I shifted, taking off towards where the group and the Alpha were. Lincoln, I heard River calling through the link, they are a distraction, I yelled through the link, they were paid to attack and pull the guards away, jumping over the shrubbery and landing in the middle of the camp area. I glanced around. No one, they were all gone. River stood next to me. I moved, pushing the things around, taking in a deep breath, trying to pick up on anything. I quickly sent a link to my dad, letting him know that the 5 rogues and the Alpha were no longer on the spot. I'll notify Cater and Ryland and have them send out warriors. He cut the link, going back over to Lee and Danny, both go get checked out. I will have someone clean this up. Yes, sir. Both left as I looked around at the dead bodies. Who do you think sent them? River asked. Lucas. I gritted out. He's smart enough to know not to leave it all the Holly. He must have a different plan. Tyler. I called to him. Yes, sir. No one is allowed on my floor. I will send extra guards up. You know who can be up there? Yes, sir. No one will get up here. Tyler, keep your eyes peeled. We have rogues and that crazy Alpha Lucas on the loose. They caused a mess with other rogues and now are gone from their camping spot. They will not reach this floor. I cut the link, knowing full well what Tyker said he meant. Let's head back. I want Mallory and Jones back out here to help track. I'll link them. They should be back to the patrol building by now, letting Dad know what was going on. He was sending guards up, and he was placing a warrior at each entrance to the house. Mallory and Jones are heading out to the empty campsite, River said. Good. Let's see what we can find as we work our way back. River moved, so he was about 10 feet to my side. We took our time as we made our way back towards the house. We did not pick on anything, just the usual smells of the pack. Nothing that wasn't to be there. Lincoln, Dad called out to me. Yes. Check out cabin 7. That Caitlin girl said she had seen her going there a few times. 7. Yes, 7, River, cabin 7, Hollis have been staying there. His head snapped up, and grunting, we took off for the cabin. Standing outside the front door, you could smell Holly's strong scent here. She has been here a lot and just recently, too. Pushing the door open, I stepped in, scanning the room. I didn't sense anyone was here, shifting back so I could move throughout the cabin better. Papers were scattered all over the table, sliding them around as I glanced at them. Patrol schedules, names I didn't know, probably names of rogues, River mumbled as he looked at the mess of papers. Moving away from the table, we looked around the room. It was rather messy in here, but she has been staying here. With the amount of clothes lying around, we worked our way through the whole cabin. She wasn't there. I would say we missed her by like 10 to 15 minutes. Walking out, I looked around the outside, hoping something was anything. Fire! Fire! Someone screamed through the pack link. River came running from the side of the cabin. Dad, Mom, I called as I shifted, taking off running. Lincoln, where are you? Mom's voice came through, heading back towards the house. What's happening? Where is the fire? I am not sure. All I know is the first floor is almost engulfed, and the second floor is starting to burn. Tyler, get them to safety now. I am working on it. We are on the third floor now. Smoke is getting heavy in here, pushing my legs to go faster. I needed to get to Willow, as River was right with me. Something wasn't right. My beast could sense it as he growled in my head, pushing himself harder to get to her. Willow. We decided to watch a movie, unsure how long we would be there. Lincoln sounded worried earlier when we talked. I didn't question why he had Tyler bring us back up here. He has his reasons, and I know that with everything going on, he is stressed. Even Mia said River is acting the same way. Heather is also included in all this protection, although she claims she can handle herself, which I do not doubt. She's a wild one. Heather chooses 51st dates. I have never laughed so hard. It was at the part where she was chasing the guy who was acting like he had beaten the one guy up, laughing so hard I snorted, making them two laugh even harder, causing me to as well, followed by another snort. The door to the room suddenly slammed open, making us jump. Tyler came in. We need to go now. Heather was the first to scramble off the bed. What's going on? There's a fire on the lower floors. We need to go, he said, holding his arm out for us to leave the room. Once we were in the hall, you could pick up a faint smell of smoke. I am going to lead, hold on to one another, and Vic will follow behind to make sure no one falls back. We nodded. As we looked back at the other guy, Ms. Willow, please keep a tight hold on my hand. He held his hand out for me, placing mine in his. He gave a slight squeeze. I'll get you guys out, I promise. Mia grabbed my other hand as Heather grabbed hers. Staying close to one another, Tyker started to make his way to the stairs. As we moved down a floor, the smoke smell got more substantial. The air around us began to get smoky looking. The smoke was thicker as we descended the stairs to the third floor. I couldn't help but cough when I took a breath in as we walked down the hall. Tyler stopped. Use your shirt to cover your nose. Try not to take deep breaths. He started walking again, one step at a time. We took working down to the second floor. My eyes began to burn. The smoke was so thick on the floor that I couldn't see anything. Keeping a tight hold on Tyler's hand, if I let go, I would not be able to find my way out of there. The heat was building. I could feel the sweat on my forehead as we approached the steps to the first floor. Crackling sounds got louder the farther down the steps we went, along with the heat. Oh my God, was it hot? I see the front entrance, Tyker called out. I felt a little relief knowing we were so close. Watch out. I was pulled backward just as the ceiling fell, nearly missing Tyler. He looked over us towards the back. Have to find a different way out. Let's head towards the kitchen. Vic turned to grab Heather's hand as he led us down the hall. My throat was burning, and flames on the ceiling made us bend lower, which made it hard to walk and navigate. We could see the fire flicker out the kitchen where the door used to be. There are too many flames to go through there. We will get burnt, Vic called to Tyler. The servant door. Straight back, Tyler yelled back to him. I felt a tug on my hand as we started to move. We stopped again. There was banging, and then a tiny amount of light was in front of us. Go go! Tyler yelled as he pushed me forward. As a loud cracking sound came from above us, just as he shoved us forward, we heard something fall. Tyler! I yelled when I did not feel his hand holding mine anymore. Turning to look, I didn't see him there. No, wait. Tyler! Stumbling forward and falling into Mia, we both tumbled, landing on the ground outside. Are you two okay? Vic asked, coming to help us up. I jumped up. Tyler is still inside. I started heading back towards the door that had smoke pouring out of it. No, Willow. Mia grabbed my arm. You can't go back in there. Vic took a step in front of me, holding his hands up. Ms. Mia is right. We need to get you to safety. A strange feeling bubbled inside me. It wasn't rage. I couldn't leave without Tyler. He was my guard. I promised Lincoln I would go nowhere with him. The need to save him was suddenly so strong as it washed over me, lifting my head, looking into his eye, squaring my shoulder. No, I am not going anywhere without Tyler. We need to get him out. The power in my voice surprised me. Vic bared his neck to me, dropping his eyes. Yes, Luna, please stay with Ms. Mia and Ms. Heather. I will get Tyler, he spun, running back into the house. I did not move, I kept my eyes on the door. I felt a hand grab my arm. Glancing over, I saw Mia standing there, Heather on her other side, neither of us looking away. Our eye trained on the door Vic ran back through. It felt like time slowed down. I could feel my heart pounding in my chest. It felt like forever when a figure emerged. Vic held Tyler upright hose, one arm over Vic's shoulder. Tyler's face and body were covered in black, and his shirt had burn holes in it. Dropping him to the ground, Tyler rolled on his back and knelt beside him. His eyes were closed. Tyler, I called his name, but he just lay there. Looking over him better, he was covered in burns. We need to get him help. I looked up. I'll go, Heather said as she started to walk off. Miss Heather, you have to stay with us. Beta River will have my head knowing I let you leave, Vic called to her. I understand that, but he is hurt, and you need to stay with Willow and Mia. They need protection more than I do. I will be just fine. I'll be back in just a minute with help. He looks so torn. Hurry back, Miss Heather, I do value my head. Let's pull him back away from the house, Vic says as he grabs Tyler under his armpits, pulling him backward. The flames were getting higher as the house continued to burn. We could hear people screaming. Some ran by us. Sitting down on the ground, pulling Tyler's head to my lap, he still wasn't opening his eyes. His breathing was shallow. I will link Prince Declan and Beta River, letting them know where we are. Looking up, I could see flames out the windows on the third floor. A growl came from behind me, and the hair on my neck stood straight up. Vic turned, jumping to stand behind me. I glanced over my shoulder and saw 5 wolves that moved to circle us. You're not welcome here. Leave. Vic growled at them, his fingers changing to long, sharp claws. He kept moving, walking a small, tight circle around Mia and me. I folded my body over Tyler, trying to shield him. Well, now Annette, that's so sweet, that voice, I would know it anywhere. Fear ripped through me. My body began to shake, stepping through the 2 wolves as he came to stand in front of me. Why hello there, my little mate, I sucked in a breath, trying to curl more around Tyler. Alpha Lucas, I whispered. He gave me a sicking smile that made me want to throw up right there. Mia moved behind me, wrapping her arms around me as if she could hide me from him. Vic's body blocked me from him. He let out a growl. Move, boy. I have come to take what is mine. Who you calling, boy? And I will do no such thing. You are trespassing on royal grounds, and you will leave immediately, or you will suffer punishment. Alpha Lucas just grinned at him. You are outnumbered, boy. I am not worried or afraid of anyone, but I will be taking what belongs to me, and no one will stop me. Vic shifted with his words. He stood there in his Lycan form. He was huge, not as big as Lincoln or River, but he was twice the size of these wolves. I see you are choosing the hard way, well so be it. He looked at one of the wolves, nodding. I let out a scream as all five pounced on Vic at once, biting and scratching him. Mia hugged me tighter as they tumbled toward us. Vic fought as hard as he could, but the five of them were getting the upper hand. I was suddenly ripped away from Tyler and Mia. No! I screamed as I swung my arms back and forth. His grip tightened as he pulled me closer. Grabbing a handful of hair, he tilted my head as his face was close to mine. Let go of her. Mia was digging at his arm. He swung his arm, striking her, and she fell back, landing on the ground. She was out cold. His attention was back on me, jerking me closer. My patience is wearing thin with you. First, you let him take you away from me, then, he stopped as his eyes locked on my neck, pulling my head to the side. What the hell is that? You let him mark you. His hand fighting in my hair, I could feel the burn on my scalp. He did not say anything, just started to drag me by my hair. My thoughts went to Lincoln. I am sorry. I love you, Lincoln. I felt something hit the back of my head. Everything started to spin, then black dots. That was the last as the darkness set in. Lincoln. I am sorry. I love you, Lincoln. Her voice was low through the link, and I barely heard her. My beast grunted at the sound of her voice. It sounded off, almost as if she was frightened. Willow, I called her, but she did not answer. Vic had linked me, telling me they got out, but Tyler was hurt. Willow, little one, talk to me. Tyler, nothing. Vic, nothing again. I could see the black smoke ahead as it filtered through the air. Coming to the front of the house, you could see flames coming out the windows up to the third and fourth floors. Members were running around as others helped some hurt. Shifting back, I scanned the area, looking for my parents. I didn't see them, but then I saw Heather. Heather! I shouted. Her head whipped my way, her eyes going wide as she saw me, and then her eyes moved next to me as River shifted back. She ran straight to him, scooping her up and hugging her. Letting her back down, he looked her over. God, Heath, you're covered in black crud. She grabbed his arm. Come on, there's no time, Tyler's hurt. Willow refuses to leave him. We followed her as she ran to the backside. Loud snarls that sounded like fighting was going on. Rounding the corner, I saw Tyler lying on the ground. Mia was lying a little way from him. Looking past them, Vic was fighting off what looked to be 5 wolves. Mia. River and Heather called as they ran to her, but Willow wasn't anywhere to be seen. Rage ripped through me. I knew who these wolves were. Shifting, I barreled towards them, slamming into 2 of them as we rolled. Clawing at them, I know I got some hits as they whimpered. Jumping up, I went at them again before they even were to their feet, grabbing one by the back of his neck as I reached up with my other hand, ripping his throat out, throwing him to the ground. I locked on the other one, he made a lunge for me. As I swung out and sidestepped him, my claws ripped at his sides, and I felt the wetness of his blood on my claws. I went to go for him again when he turned, running back towards the woods, turning my attention back to Vic. He had killed one but was still fighting too. I reached out and ripped one off him, throwing him to the side. He landed with a thud, letting out a growl. He was up and charging me, waiting till he was in the right spot. Just as he jumped to lunge at my throat, I grabbed him by his. He struggled as I held him in the air. With one twist, his neck snapped. He let out a gargling noise, dropping his lifeless body. I looked over to see Vic had injured the one. He lay there on the ground in his human form, clutching his stomach as blood pooled under him. Shifting back, I stood over him. "Where is my mate?" I growled at him. He laughed, then spit blood out to the side, like I would tell you, "I don't care if I die. Kill me if you want, but I won't tell you anything." Vic came to stand next to me. It was an alpha that took her, I believe she called him Alpha Lucas. I let out a deep growl from my chest. My hands shook. My beast saw red, he wanted his blood. Looking back down at the rogue, "Guess I don't need you anyways." His smile dropped. "Vic," was all I had to say as he swiped his claw across his throat. "Lincoln," River's voice caused me to snap my head up. He held Mia in his arms. She was still passed out. Heather stood at his side. "Vic, get Tyler to the clinic." "I will handle this here." "Yes, sir." He walked over, throwing Tyler over his shoulder. He stopped turning around. "I am sorry, sir." I held my hand up. "Vic, it's not your fault. 5 against 1 is not a fair fight," and Tyler was injured. Tipping my chin at him. "Get him looked at." He bowed his head. "Yes, sir." I glanced up at the burning house. It seemed like the flames were dying, and I made my way back out front. There were fire trucks there. They were slowly getting the fire under control. I spotted my parents, working my way to them through the sea of people. I needed to let them know what was going on. I needed Dad's help to find her, Willow. Shivering, I wrapped my arms around myself. Why was I so cold? Reaching out, I tried feeling for my blanket. Lincoln made sure that I had extra blankets. He knew I got cold easily at night. I felt nothing. Opening my eyes, I was met with a pale, dirty white ceiling. Rolling my head to the side, I realized I wasn't in Lincoln's room. Then it hit me. The fire, Tyler getting hurt, rogues attacking Vic, Alpha Lucas, Mia. It was all flashing in my head. "Oh God, Alpha Lucas! Get up, Willow," I told myself. "You can't stay here." I quickly sat up, only to hold my head as the throbbing pain caused me to shut my eyes. A feeling of nausea hit my stomach, letting my eyes open but slower this time. I gave myself a few minutes to let them adjust. After a few times of blinking and squinting, I was able to see clearly. The room was dim looking. Only one light was on across the room, a small dresser where the light sat on it, a folding table, and 2 chairs were set up on the far wall. The other wall was the door, but it was closed. Swinging my leg out of the bed, I moved to stand, but the room suddenly started to spin. Shutting my eyes for a moment, when everything stopped turning, I reached the door, tugging on the handle. It wouldn't open. Crap! Turning around to see what else was in the room, I spotted a small square window. Hurrying over to it, I wiped it off. Peeking out, I could only see wood's thick, heavy wood. My head started pounding again, leaning my forehead against the window, trying to calm myself. Maybe I can link Lincoln. Trying to focus on him, I called his name, but my head hurt so bad I couldn't get the dizziness to stop long enough. The sound of clicking had me turning around as the door made a creaking sound, slowly opening. A figure stepped in, causing my heart to stop and fear to rise. His eye found me, his lips turned up as he walked the rest of the way in. He was carrying a box-looking thing under one arm. I see someone finally woke up, pushing the door closed and giving it a slight tap. I heard the clicking sound. Someone must have locked it from the outside. Walking to the little folding table, he set the box down. As he took a couple of steps in my direction, I stepped aside and back. I held up a hand. "Please," I whispered. His smile only grew at that word. "Oh, my sweet little mate." His nose flared as he took a deep breath in. "You smell different." Breathing in again, but oh so good. It sounded as if he just moaned. Another step towards me as I took another, trying to keep space between us. He growled each time I moved. "Stop moving away from me, mate." Black swirled in his eyes. I wasn't ready for him to move so quickly. He grabbed my wrist, jerking me forward, crashing into his chest, his hand instantly taking a handful of my hair in the back, making me cry out as it was still hurting, shoving his nose in my hair. My skin crawled at the touch. His grip tightened, groaning. He pulled back, tipping my head back, letting out a growl when he looked at my neck. "We have something we need to go over, mate. How did you let him mark you? No one but my mark is to be on that neck of yours. You are mine, Willow." I wanted to scream at him. I wasn't him, I was Lincoln's and only Lincoln's, but I knew better. I've lived with him my whole life. I know what would come of those words, so I did what I knew to survive him. "I am sorry, Alpha." Keeping my eyes on his chin, his thumb ran over my bottom lip. "Oh, you will be, little mate. You will be punished for making me chase you and for letting some other male mark you, but it will not be too harsh as I can tell you are still pure. You didn't let him touch you that way." He started running his nose against my neck. I felt an urge to claw at him. I didn't feel fear like before. I did not want him touching me, and it was burning me up inside. "Why do you smell like that? You don't smell the same. It's almost like..." He stopped talking, his face in one spot on my neck. His head flew back as he glared down at me. "Wolf. Lincoln." I felt numb. Well, except for this headache. The fire was put out, and the first 3 floors are gone. No one else was injured in the fire. Everyone that was inside had gotten out safely. With the damage to the main house, we had to move people to empty cabins. Some were able to stay with their family members. Carter took 2 warriors and went after the rogue, who retreated. I know he was one of those 5 that crossed with the Alpha. He should know something. We still haven't found Holly. No one saw her during the fire nor beforehand, and still afterward, nothing. we had to use Ryland's office in the patrol building. Mom stayed to finish helping everyone find a place to go. Dad and I came here scanning over maps, looking at any angle to where he could have gone. I don't think he went too far, but I still can't link here. Each time I try, the headache gets worse. I don't think it's me, I think the headache is coming from her. I feel it through the bond. What about the rogue territory? Dad asked as he pulled another map out, laying it over the table covered with maps. Stepping closer to look over it, maybe it's not far, but far enough, you still can't link with her. Dad looked up, seeing me wince again as I shut my eyes from the throbbing. No, I press my fingers on my temple. How's the head? Dad reached out, laying his hand on my shoulder. It's pounding, but like I said before, I think it's coming from Willow, not me. The feeling is different than if I would have a headache. That's a good thing if you can still feel her through the bond. Then she is close. River walked in carrying Mia as Heather walked behind. Walking over, setting her in the chair, kissing her forehead, then moving over to the table with us. You didn't have to come. Why don't you take Mia home and let her rest? I tell him, but he just shakes his head. She won't let me. Glancing over at Mia, I can see the side of her face is bruised. He scanned the map. Rogue territory. He looks up. I look between him and Dad, then back to River. Yeah, it would be safe for him to lie low for a few days, but I don't think he will stay there long. He knows we will be tracking him. His head bobs, and just as he points to a spot, we hear a commotion down the hall. Going out, I saw Carter dragging a squirming skinny man behind him. Let me go. The man kicked his legs, trying to grab the door jambs as they passed. Stepping back, letting Carter come into the office, he flung the man forward, scrambling, trying to get to his feet. Ryland placed his foot on his chest, holding him down. We found him hiding at that campsite. He wasn't even trying to leave the territory, Carter said, stepping around Ryland, hopping a little as feet flew towards him. You pricks, let me go. I wasn't bothering anyone, I wanted to tear into him. As I went to step forward, the pain in my head intensified, causing me to stumble. Dad clutched my arm, steadying me. Willow. He whispered. All I could do was nod. His growl shook the walls. Carter, he called his beta. Carter stepped forward, helping to keep me upright. They helped move me to sit. Once Dad let go, he spun around. Dad moved to look down at him. You're on my land without my permission or knowledge. Now, what were you doing there? He did not say anything, just contained to struggle under Ryland's hold. It would be in your best interest to answer me. I am generally a very forgiving person, but my patience is running out. You come onto my land, burn my pack house, attack my guards, help in the kidnapping of the princess, and hurt the beta's female. Now that is enough to be heading for you, and right now, I am thinking of handling that myself. The thrashing man froze when his eyes locked on my father's hand, which was now showing nothing but claws. River, would you be so kind as to block the girls? I would hate for them to see this. River moved, using his body as a block. Dad took another step. Dad usually isn't one to lose his temper. He knows that being the king, you have to carry an image and paint yourself with one that says, I am a hothead, and killing anyone, no matter what, does not help you lead. The pack is in this strong condition because of his leadership, but once in a while, when he pushes back, and right now, he's at his limit. Willow. Alpha Lucas threw me to the floor. Storming over, he banged on the door. Once it opened, he went out, slamming it shut. Wolf? Why did he say that? I don't have a wolf. I did shift, but it was into a leakin. I could hear yelling. I couldn't make out what was being said, but someone was yelling. Getting up, I went back over to the window, pushing up on it. If I got it open, I could slip out. It's not a big window, but I am small enough to fit out it. Come, Willow, try harder, I told myself, but no matter how much I pushed, the window wouldn't move. I felt my arms go limp after trying for how long. My palms were red from the wooden pieces. Falling to my knees, I wanted to cry. I could feel the tears build when I thought about not being able to escape, the thought of Lincoln, what would happen if I never came back, if they never found me? Would he take another as a mate and move on from me? I felt a ping in my chest at the thought of him taking another as his mate. A sharp pain ran down the back of my head, making me clutch my whole head. Bending over, I pressed my forehead against the floor. My skin started to burn and itch. I could feel something within stir. I've felt this pain before. Looking at my hands, I saw white fur sprout in small patches, my nails growing into claws. I was shifting, letting out a groan, which sounded more like a growl. I rolled to my back, feeling my bones starting to snap. My shirt ripped down the front, my pants following, the door whipped open, she shifting. Someone yelled, "No, no, no, don't call them. Come on, shift, hurry up." I tried to force it. I did not know what I was doing or how I would force it, but I needed to change before anyone else came in. Get the needle. A loud growl came out of me at the sound of his voice. Oh no, he's not giving me anything. I felt a pair of hands starting to pin me down. I kicked out with my feet knocking. One back. Swinging my arms back and forth, I hit someone, hearing them curse, "We can't hold her. Hurry up." He yelled again. All of a sudden, the pain stopped. The hands that were trying to hold me down were not there anymore. Someone said, I saw them standing there, eyes broad, faces pale. Moving to get up, I realized I was now a lot taller. She a freaking leakin'. The two scrambled out of the room, leaving Alpha Lucas there alone. His eyes bore into me. Just then, a man came running in. He was carrying something in his hand. He stopped in his tracks when he saw me. Alpha, he stutters out. Leave, Alpha Lucas gritted out. The man wasted no time in spinning around and hurrying out of the room. Well, now this is surprise. Alpha Lucas smiles as he looks me up and down. But don't you think for a minute I am afraid of you. You may be a leakin, but you are untrained and weak just like before. Little mate, rage ripped through me. I never felt that, and I wasn't holding back anymore. This man hurt me, beat me, his family did horrible things to me, and most of all, he killed my parents. Letting out a roar I never knew I had in me, I lunged at him. I was going to kill him. He will not hurt me again. Lincoln. I'll talk, I'll talk. The rogue yelled as he thrashed under Ryland's foot. Dad was within inches of him before he broke. Stepping back, Dad folded his arms over his chest. Spill, okay, I don't know the exact plan. When we were meeting up with the women who hired us, we ran into a man, an alpha. Somehow, he ended up going to the meeting with us, and next thing I knew, he partnered up with the women who hired us. Dad gestured with his hand. Continue. The women and that alpha made a plan for us to sneak across the border with the help of someone on the inside. We met up with a guy who took us to the campsite, where he found me. He nodded in Carter's direction. What about the fire? Dad asked him. Did you set it? His head bobbed. Yes, that alpha didn't want to wait. We were supposed to meet with that woman in the morning, but he wasn't happy waiting, so he made a different plan. We made our way to the backside of the house. He set a fire, driving everyone out. Why did not he not wait? Shaking his head, I do not know. He was saying something about not trusting her, and after he had some words with the guy who brought us in, he changed the plan, so the random rogue attack was his planning. I asked, knowing that's how they got away from Lee and Danny? Yes, once he started the fire, we waited in the tree line. We weren't sure what door, so we spread out, watching all the doors. We knew who we were looking for. The women gave us a picture of our target. A growl ripped out of me as I jumped up, wanting to rip out his throat. Carter and Dad blocked me. Calm down. If you kill him now, we will lose the information, and we needed to find her. He called her a target. My voice was deep and rough. My beast wanting blood, his blood, I know, but Lincoln killing him won't get us closer to finding her. Letting them push me back in the chair, I shook my head as the pain seemed to be getting worse, turning facing the rogue again, waving his hand for him to go on. My brother saw her first. 4 of them came busting through a small door on the backside. 4. I asked. Yes, 4, 1 male and 3 women. The targ. I cut him off with a growl. The woman we were there for was yelling at the tall male, something about going back in the house, but he wouldn't. She tried to go back in herself. That's when the male went in. A few minutes later he came out with another male who was hurt. Tyler, I tell Dad as he looks over his shoulder at me. He nods, looking back at the rogue. When the alpha saw she clutching the hurt male head to her body, he rushed in. And well, you know the rest. Dad walked over, crouching down. Now tell me, where did he take her? He shook his head. I do not know. We were to go our separate ways after getting her. Are you sure? Dad asked him as his claws elongated, holding them out toward his throat. He tried pulling his head to the side. Yes, yes. I am telling you, we were to split up and go in different directions. Then why go back to the campsite? Ryland asked him, looking down at him. I was waiting for my brother, but then I felt it when he was killed. I couldn't shift from the pain. Speaking of pain, I was hit with such pain it folded me over in the chair. Lincoln. Dad was in front of me, pushing my shoulders back. Willow, I gripped the sides of my head, but then rage hit me so hard my beast surged forward, tackling Dad. We wrestled as I started to shift. Carter jumped in, trying to get a hold of me. They managed to pin me to the floor. Dad used his alpha command to get me to stop shifting. Once I changed back, my body gave out, falling limp against that floor. I lay there breathing hard. Ryland, take our prisoner and lock him up. Put a guard on him. Yes, sir. I could hear rustling followed by footsteps as they got farther away. Shutting my eyes, I just laid there. I don't think I had the strength to get up. I know that rage came from Willow's side, but I'm unsure about the shifting. I know our bond is intense, but I didn't think it was strong enough to force me to shift. Lincoln, talk to me. What was that? They pulled me, helping to get me back in the chair. My legs and arms felt like dead weight. I think it came from Willow's side of the bond. I feel rage like boiling hot rage, and then my body started shifting. I looked up at Dad to see some claw marks on his arms and chest. Dad, I am sorry. He held his hand up. No worries. You weren't in control. Why would you shift, though? I know you can feel your mate's emotions through the bond, but enough to cause you to shift. Carter asked as he handed Dad something to wipe the blood off his arms. You can shift out of rage when the rage is so intense you can't control it. Yeah, but that would be on her side, not his. If the rage was high enough, do you think it was? Yes. Mia's voice was soft and shaky. I looked up as everyone turned. She was pressed against River's chest as he held her, pulling back. She stood facing us. You didn't see all the things he did to her, not only him but the beta as well. She was forced to watch her mother be killed. She had been through so much at the hands of that man. She closed her eyes, River placing a hand on her back. So yes, her rage could be that high. Willow. Everything was a blur. 1 minute, I was in that room with that horrible man, and now I am outside running as fast as I can to get away. I could hear them behind me, their paws hitting the ground. I knew he was with them. I had taken him by surprise when I lunged at him. I tackled him to the ground, clawing and biting him. I got him good on his leg. He got a few in on me, seeing as he managed to shift during the scuffle, but when he couldn't get up, I took that opening and ran. As much as I want him dead, I can't bring myself to take a life. Even though he is the worst person and deserves to die, my body ached as I ran, and I needed to get far away from here. I saw water ahead and, running straight into it, once I crossed it, I took off again. I could feel my energy getting low. I was getting slower. I could feel my body start to shift back. I couldn't stop it. Falling to my knees, I sat on my heels, trying to catch my breath. Growls came from next to me. Snapping my head, I saw 3 wolves standing there. Gasping out, I fell on my butt, crawling back away from them. Please, I whispered. The one in the middle shifted. He looked at me with concern and worry. Then I realized he was wearing nothing, and so was I. Looking away, I tried to cover myself. He kneeled a little away from me. What's your name? His voice was soft. Where did you come from? Before I could answer, a deep snarl followed by the sound of bones snapping. The man in front of me standing up as the other 2 wolves came to stand next to him. Get away from my mate! Alpha Lucas yells as he stands a few feet away. The man looks down at me. I shake my head, telling him I am not his mate. He turns, looking at Alpha Luca, seems doesn't agree. I don't care what she says. She is mine. Now give her to me. I think not. I do, however, think you need to leave. You are trespassing. Alpha Lucas scoffs at this. I am not going anywhere without my mate. I am not your mate. I am mated to Lincoln Declan. I screamed at him. That made the man standing there tense up. The wolves growled, taking a step forward and snarling at Alpha Lucas. he kidnapped me. I am not his mate, you little peesh. Alpa Lucas shifted, trying to lunge for me but was tackled by the two wolves. The guy spun around, kneeled in front of me. Are you sure you, Declan, mate? Yes, my name is Willow Winters. I am Lincoln, mate, please. I want to go home, I sobbed. A thud sound followed a whimper. When we looked, the two wolves had to knock Alf Lucas out. The man held his hand out. Come, we will call your mate. Willow. Here, put this on. The man handed me a shirt. Taking it, I slipped it on. It came to my knees, which I was grateful for. Take him and lock him up. I am sure the prince will be happy now we have him. I watched as the two carried him away. Relief washed over me, knowing he was being locked up. Willow, he called my name. I looked over. He smiled. The packed house isn't far. Are you able to walk? Oh, yes, I think I can. Good. My name is Jace. I'm the beta here. He held his hand out, taking it. It's nice to meet you, Jace, and thank you for your help. We started walking. My body protested, making me move slowly. Every muscle hurt. My pleasure. When you crossed over our borders, our patrol tried catching you, but you were moving fast. I'm sorry. I didn't mean to cause trouble. Nonsense. When I saw your state, I knew something was wrong. I am glad you stumbled into our lands. If you had gone the other way, it would have taken you right back into rogue territory. I have no idea where I am. All I knew was I had to run. Well, thank the moon goddess you came this way. Nodding my head, I push my hair back out of my face when I hear a gasp. Looking over, he was staring at my neck. I guess you were telling the truth about being his mate. Looking at him, scrunching my brows, he lifted his hand, pointing with a finger. You wear the royal mark of the lichens. Placing my hand over my mark. I wasn't lying. I wouldn't do that. I am his mate. Oh, I believe. No doubt. He started walking again, and within a few minutes, a beautiful house came into view. The Alpha is in his office. He is waiting for us. That man will be locked in the dungeons. I followed him in the house. He moved down the hall. At the end was an open door. Knocking on the jamb. Come in, a voice called out. Stepping behind Jace, I saw an older gentleman sitting at the desk. He stood when she saw me. Hello. I am Alpha Jake. He held his hand out. Hi, I am Willow. Please sit. You look like you have been through war, young lady. Thank you. I took the seat in front of his desk. Now I understand you need us to get in touch with your mate. Nodding my head, yes, I wasn't able to link him before. I don't know if I am a little tired and can't seem to focus too good. No worries. Now, who would your mate be, my dear? We will get that call out. Alpha, you will have to call the palace. Jace tells him. He stops what he is doing and looks up. Palace. Yes, Alpha. Jace looks to me. Willow, can you show Alpha your mark? Nodding, I push my hair back a bit as the Alpha leans forward. He runs a hand over his face. Sorry for my choice of words, my dear. I waved my hand at him. It's okay. He looked at Jace. You have the man who was hurting her, don't you? Yes, Alpha. Deltaron is locking him in the cells. Good. Let me get that call out. I'll have someone take you to a guest room so you can get cleaned up." He took the phone in his hand and dialed the number. He had to go through a few different people, and they kept transferring him. Finally, he spoke to someone. He had to leave a message. They told him a fire had damaged the palace, so the king's office wasn't being used. My heart stopped for a moment. I knew the fire was spreading when we got out, but I did not realize how bad it had gotten. He hung up. They said they would pass the message on to the prince. Hopefully, we will hear something back shortly. If you want to get cleaned up, Jace can show you to a guest room. I'll have an Omega bring you some clean clothes. Thank you. I wouldn't mind getting all this dirt off me. I had just realized how dirty I was when I looked down at my legs. Just then, there was a knock on the door, and a lady walked in. She was beautiful. She was older, like the Alpha. "I am sorry, I didn't know you had a guest," she spoke so softly. "Oh no, come in, my love, let me introduce you." The Alpha stood, holding out his hand to her. She walked in, placing her hand in his. "Willow, I'd like you to meet my mate and Lunatess." He kissed her hand. "Love, this is Willow. Jace and I are helping her get back home." "Back home?" she asked. "Yes, it's a long story, but we phoned her mate. You came at the perfect time, my love. Would you mind showing Willow to a guest room and possibly finding her some clean clothes?" "Oh, of course. Follow me, hun." She held her hand out for me to follow her. I said a quick thank you to the Alpha, then followed Lunatess out of the office. Lincoln. My body felt so heavy, like I had trained for the last 20 hours. I know where it is coming from, but I don't understand why she felt like this. What is she having to go through? Is she hurt? River had finally convinced Mia to go rest. Heather and she had left a little while ago with my mother. She had come to inform Dad that all members had found a place to stay till the house was redone. She even reached out to our contracting company and had them get started right away. She kissed my forehead, ripped his throat out and let him gargle in his blood, she said, then walked out. Yep, Mom has a terrifying side to her. Ryland and Carter were assembling a group of warriors. We planned to storm the rogue territory. I still had warriors and trackers out looking for Holly. She signed her death certificate. After what we found in that cabin and what that rogue told us, she has no more chances. She will die by my hand, King Winston. We heard someone calling from down the hall. We stood just as an Omega came busting into the office. He was breathing hard. In his hand was a small piece of paper. "Yes?" Dad asked him as he raised his brow. The Omega held the paper out. "A message for you, sir, from an Alpha Jake, at Moonfang Pack." Moonfang? Why would he call? Dad reached out and took the paper, reading it over. "Lincoln. He calls me," as he hands the paper to me. Reading over it, my heart started to beat so hard I thought it jumped from my chest. "We need to go." I jumped up, running out of the office, River right on my tail, Dad behind him. Ryland and Carter were coming towards us. "Sir?" Carter asked. "Get a car ready now," I yelled as I passed them. "Wait, we got the team ready." "Is there a change in plans?" Carter asked as he followed us. "Yes," Alpha Jake called from the Moonfang Pack. "They found Willow and have her at their pack house." "Moonfang, that pack run against the rogue territory. Ryland calls out, "Is she okay?" River asked as we reached the driveway in front of the house. A crew was already working. The message said she was, and they will let her stay there till I get there. How did she get on his land? Carter asked as he stopped next to Dad. I do not know, it didn't say. All I know is I am going there. Carter, Ryland, I want you to tag along with us. I am not taking any chances with anyone. Yes, sir, they say. A few seconds later, 2 cars pull up. Jumping in, Dad directs the driver where to go. Carter and Ryland follow behind us. Moonfang, wasn't that the pack that the Alpha son was killed during his first year leading? River asked. Yes, they had a rogue attack. They killed his son, so he took over till his daughter can take over. Daughter? Not many females make it leading a pack, no, but his daughter has been strong and focused since her brother died. She has dove into training and learned all she can about the pack business. How long till we arrive? About 2 hours, Dad said. 2 hours, damn. I don't know if I could keep it together for 2 hours. Willow. Here we go. You can use this room. I will have someone bring you some clothes. I am sure you don't want to stay wearing that shirt. Looking down at it, I was covered in dirt. That would be great. Thank you, it's no trouble. Walking across the room, bathrooms in here, there should be everything you need. I will go check on the clothing. She walked back to the door, went out, pulled it closed behind her. Looking around the room, it was a small room, but it held a warmth. Stepping into the bathroom was just as simple as the room. Turning the shower on, I stripped out the shirt, tossing it in the small bin. Getting in the warm water hit me, letting out a sigh as it relaxed me. My muscles were loving it. Goating around, I found the soap along with some bottles of shampoo and conditioner. I quickly washed up even though it felt good. I did not want to take too long. I wanted to get back and see if he had heard from Lincoln. I was more than ready to go home. Wrapping a towel around me and walking out, I saw there were some clothes on the bed. Slipping the clothes on, I was surprised to see they fit me. Then putting the towel in the bin in the bathroom, I went out of the room. Making my way back the way we came, I found the office. The Alpha was still sitting there at the desk when he heard me. He looked up. Ah, Willow, I have some news. He stood, walking around his desk. Your mate is on his way, should take about 2 hours. My heart leaped at those words. Lincoln knew where I was, and he was coming for me. I didn't mean to start to cry. I wiped at my face when I felt the first tear fall. Thank you so much for your help, I sniffled. Oh, I hope those are happy tears, Alpha Jake said as he grabbed my hand, guiding me to sit down, nodding my head. Yes, I am sorry, I just really want to go home and see Lincoln. He sat beside me. If I may ask, would your last name happen to be Winters? Squinting my eyes a little, I didn't feel he was a threat or he would hurt me, so I told him the truth. Yes. I saw something flash in his eyes. Your parents are Alpha Liam and Luna Cass. His voice broke just a bit when he spoke my mother's name. He knew my parents' names. Yes. How did you know them? I have known Cass a long time. Since childhood. His eyes started to become glossy as I saw him thinking about something. He reached out, taking my hand. I didn't pull back. I wasn't afraid of him. Something about him made me feel safe, like when I am with Lincoln. I am not surprised you don't remember. It has been years. Tilting my head, I study him. I am sorry, but did we meet before? He smiled, giving my hand a soft pat. We have when you were little. I did not say anything, I just looked at him. He took a deep breath as he turned more to face me. Let me start so you can understand. My name is Alpha Jake Slate. I am the older brother to Cassandra Slate, but I became Cassandra Winters when she met her mate, Liam Winters. That makes me your uncle, I whispered. I let what he said slowly wrap around my head. He was my mom's older brother, but I don't remember meeting him. Then again, everything before that night is a blur, or I just do not recall anything. But why didn't he look for me? Why did he leave me with that horrible pack? If he was indeed my uncle, then why? He squeezed my hand lightly, making me look up at him. I didn't realize I had looked away as the thoughts and questions started filling my head. I know what you are thinking. I want you to know I did come looking for you. Once I received the news that an attack was made on your pack, I went straight there. I combed through every inch of the pack's lands, but there was no one left except dead bodies. I saw a tear make its way down his cheek. I found your mom's body, then shortly after I came across your father's. I sent trackers out. I spent the better part of a year looking for you or another person from the pack, but I only hit dead ends. His voice crackled as he talked. I could see the pain on his face as he spoke. I swear, Willow, if I had known where you were, I would have come for you. My heart broke as I could feel his pain. My arms moved on their own before I knew it. I was wrapping them around his shoulder and hugging him. His body shook as he held me, hugging me back, pulling back. He cupped my face. I thought you were dead. All my searching, I came up empty-handed. I am sorry about your parents, and I am sorry for not being able to find you. Sniffling, it not your fault. No one knew who I was for a long time till Lincoln found me. Taking my hands again, have you been in the rogue territory this whole time? Shaking my head, no, I've been at Alpha Lucas Pack. He was the one who killed my parents and took most of the pack members and children. He just looked at me with a confused look. I told him everything from that night up to stumbling on his lands by accident. He pulled me into a hug. My God, child, what have you been through? I am sorry you had to go through all that. I am all right. Lincoln saved me. He's helped me heal and get better. The moon goddess blessed me with a gift, and I found I have family. I say my life is taking a turn for the better, so much like your mother, always finding the good in everything. You look like her too, same eyes. I smiled at his words, with a quick pat on my hand. It's going to be about an hour till your maid arrives. I am sure you haven't eaten. Let's go down and have something to eat. Tess is about to die if we don't come to the kitchen, he says with an eye roll. He stands, offering me his hand. Taking it, he walks me out of the office. She knows me? I asked as I looked up at him. He nodded, yes. Your eyes caught her attention just like they did with me. Something in me knew it was you. She felt it too. Once we entered the kitchen, I was pulled into a bear-crushing hug. Tess, love, she needs to breathe. Arms let go of me. Sorry, I was just too excited. I knew it was you. Oh God, how you look like your mama. Tears rolled down her cheeks as she waved a hand at me. Sorry, don't mind me. I am a mess of emotions right now. She ushered me over to a small table. Then, going back over to the counter, she came back with 3 plates. I was unsure what you liked or how hungry you would be, so I made us some turkey hoagies with a side salad. She set them down. Thank you, love. My uncle kissed her hand, and she blushed, taking a seat next to him. These look great. Thank you, Luna Tess. Oh, it is just Tess, or you can call me Annuity Tess like you did when you were younger. I looked at them. Their eyes had affection as they looked at me, but I also could see a small amount of pain or hurt but not directed towards me. With a nod, I ate my sub, letting my thoughts drift over what had happened that day. I felt terrible cause I couldn't remember them. We sat there eating as they told me stories about my parents, how they met to how my uncle at first didn't like my father. I laughed as I heard of the things my mom did as a kid. I was not sure how long we had been talking when a commotion was heard at the front door. His scent hit me. I was out of the chair and running down the hall. My aunt and uncle behind me called my name, and I threw the door open. He was standing right there, throwing myself at him, wrapping my arms around his neck as my legs around his waist. Little one. Lincoln. Her scent calmed my beast. She had thrown herself at me as soon as the door opened. She knew I was here, little one, I whisper against her hair. You're here, she mumbled, her face buried in my neck. I didn't know what to think. I just wanted to see you again, her voice breaking as she spoke. SHH, I am here, I am not going anywhere. I'm sorry. I should have never left you in the first place. It's my fault. Shaking her head, holding her tight against me, I felt I couldn't get her close enough. Someone cleared their throat, making me look up, and Willow pulled back. Oh, Lincoln, she untangled herself from me. Hopping down, she tugged on my arm, making me step closer to the couple standing there. You will not believe this. She bounced up and down on her toes. I couldn't help but chuckle at her eagerness. This is Alpha Jake and Hi Luna Tess. I held my hand out to him, shaking it, then doing the same to his Luna. It's a pleasure to meet you both, and I just want to thank you for helping Willow. The pleasure is all ours. It was a joy meeting her, Luna Tess says as she smiles at Willow. Lincoln, she shakes my arm. You won't believe it, but they are my aunt and uncle. Snapping my head up to look at the alpha, my eyes must have changed. How could they convince her of this? Hold up, young prince, his hands held up. Maybe we should sit down and explain it better. Lincoln, the softness in her voice pulled my attention down to her. I could see the emotions swirling in her eyes. Please, Lincoln, he is my uncle, I can prove it, Olha Jake says as he steps back. Come to my office. I'll show you. I hold up my hand. Dad, I call through the link. He had thought it would be better if he waited in the car. We did not want to overwhelm these people, but have both of us show up at their door? Yes, Lincoln, everything all right? Yes, she's safe. But can you come up here? There is something they need to discuss with us. On my way, the car door opened as he stepped out just as Carter and River, followed by Ryland, came as well. Dad stopped next to me. Alpha Jake. He held his hand out, the Alpha taking his hand and shaking it. King Winston, you three wait here. I look over my shoulder. Yes sir. All three say, please, this way. Luna Tess holds her hand out. We followed them down the hall into an office. Alpha Jake walked over to a filing cabinet, pulled out a folder, and looked down at that fold, pain written on his face as he held the fold so delicately in his hands. "Please have a seat," he says while sitting in a chair. "Here are copies of birth certificates along with pictures and the paperwork for Cass to transfer into Lame's pack and become his Luna. They had even taken an extra step and got married. There is a copy of the license in there as well." He slides the folder across the desk. "Lincoln. Dad calls me." I glance over, and his eyebrows are raised. Picking up the folder, Alpha Jake claims he is Willow's uncle. He looked between Alpha Jake and Willow, but he did not say anything. Opening the folder, I began looking through the papers there, and sure enough, what he said was true. Willow peeked in, seeing a picture. Her shaky hand reached out pulling it from the folder, her eye trained on it as she studied the people in the photo. I handed Dad the folder, letting him look through it. He closed it, handing it back to Alpha Jake. Willow never looked up from the picture. Looking at it, 4 people were standing there with 2 children, a boy and a girl. Alpha Jake saw her looking so hard at the picture. That was the last time we were all together. She lifted her eyes from the photo. His eyes moved to her hands. Pain washed over his face. "Who is the little boy?" she asked, but I already knew he was Alpha Jake's son, the son who was killed. "That is William." Her eyes lit up. "Is he my cousin?" "Yes, he is, or was." His eye scrunched as Luna Tess touched his shoulder. He swallowed slowly. "He has passed on. He was killed in a rogue attack, so I am Alpha again." I had handed him the title, but defending the pack, his life was taken. Her hand covered her mouth. I could feel her emotions running wild through the bond, pulling her close to me. "Breath, little one." She nodded her head, handing him the picture. "I am sorry," holding his hand up. "No, you keep it." She pulled it back, holding it to her chest. "You do have another cousin, but she is away right now. When she returns, I would love for you two to meet. She has been lost since William's death, and I think a connection with someone would help her see past her grief." Willow nodded her head. A small smile appeared. Dad stood. "Alpha Jake, if you need anything, call us. You are family now." He held his hand out, with a nod. "Thank you, King Winston, that means a lot. It's just Winston to my family." "Oh, I almost forgot. I had that Alpha locked up. My men knocked him out when they found him chasing Willow. I figured you would like the pleasure of beheading him yourself. Even though learning what he did to Cass and Willow, I would love the chance to have at him myself." A growl flew out of me, startling them. "Your message did not say anything about that." "I'm sorry, but my main concern was Willow. She was upset, and all she was asking for was to call her mate." He quickly said. "Lincoln, calm down." Willow rubbed my arm. "We have 3 extra men with us. I will have them transport him back to the pack territory." Dad spoke. "Do you have cuffs for him? I would hate for him to decide to fight my men. I don't think they would hesitate to rip him apart." "Yes, I'll have Beta Jace meet us outside with them." We walked out. I didn't want Willow to see that man. "I will take Willow and leave. I don't want him anywhere near her again." "Good idea," Dad says as he pats Willow's hand. "I am glad to see you are all right." She smiles up at him. Just then, a man came up to us. "Alpha, I brought the..." "Oh, his head dropped. King Winston, Prince Declan, Willow laughed at him, and so didn't I. He was generally shocked to see us standing there. Relax, Jace. Did you bring the cuffs? Alpha Jake asked him. Yes, sir. He handed him silver cuffs. You weren't kidding when you said you were his mate. Hey, he said to Willow. She shakes her head at him, patting his arm. River steps up next to her. Arms crossed, that Jace guy looks at River, then at Willow. He points a finger towards River. Let me guess, brother. Jace, Alpha Jake calls him. Stop bugging them before you get your butt kicked. Willow leans forward. No, he's not my brother, but he sure is annoying like one. Hey! River calls out, dropping his arms. How could you? He holds his hand on his chest as she stabs him. She rolls her eyes at him. See? She says, oh, I see how it is. If you want to be like that, I won't give you this. He pulls out a cinnamon bun. When did he get that? She grabs it as he holds it above his head. Ha! Can't get it now, can ye? River, give me that. She jumped up, trying to grab it, but she could not with how tall River was. Only if you say I am the most good-looking best friend. River. She whines, trying to pout, knowing he is going to cave. He can't be mean to any of them. Come on, say it, he chimes at her. She stands there, arms folded. Fine, don't want it anyways. His face fell at her words. Hurrying off to her, he handed her the bun. I am sorry, Willow, I didn't mean to be a jerk, and there it is, big softy. She smiled so big at him, hugging him, she said her goodbyes. Helping her into the car, I tucked her under my arm, keeping her close. My beast finally settling in my head. I wanted to ask her about everything, but that could wait till we were back home. Willow. It's been 2 weeks since the fire, me being taken by Alpha Lucas, and finding my uncle and aunt. I have spoken to my uncle every day. It is a different feeling knowing you have family. I feel complete, like a part of me is finally full. River, Carter, and Ryland, along with Lincoln's dad, had escorted Aloha Lucas here from my uncle's pack. He had been locked up in the dungeon, and Lincoln said he tried to fight and argue, but once he saw the king, he submitted quickly. Beta Cole was still awaiting his trial. He has been willing to share any information he knows about the Alpha. I guess he was hoping that it would help his case. Holly was still missing. There were reports that she was seen on the backside of the rogue territory, but when Lincoln sent trackers out, they came up empty. Milo and his sister were still being held. They would be sent back to the pack, but they thought it would be a good idea for Milo to try and attack a guard. Caitlin was furious when Lincoln said she would be held another 30 days. Willow, hello, snapping me out of my thoughts. I looked at Daniels. He sighed. I need you to focus, Willow. I know I am sorry. My mind drifted for a moment. It won't happen again. Moving to a fighting stand, I stand in front of him. Yes, after we came back, Lincoln started me on training. Since I forced a shift, my Lincoln had woken fully now. I felt so different. We discovered that I have some abilities which, according to what we have read, are typical of white lichens. Another reason for the training is to help me learn to control my strychnine and my emotions as well. All right, Willow, let's run that again. Daniels says. Okay, now, Tyler, don't use full force but put a little more behind it. He steps to the side, letting Tyler stand in front of me. Tyler was my training partner. When I came back and found out he was still in the hospital, I made Lincoln take me straight there. The doctor told me he was healing just slowly, with how bad he had gotten burnt. It would be a slow process, but he would be good as new. I broke down and cried. He was hurt because of me. He pushed us out of the way before that debris came crashing down on us. You got it, Daniels. Wouldn't want to hurt the little mouse. He smirked at me, taking his stand. I narrowed my eyes at him, but he only laughed, holding his thumb and finger up, making a pinching, tinny-tiny, letting out a growl. I lunged for him, which was a mistake. He was purposely egging me on. This is what we have been working on. He dodged my attack by sidestepping. Going at him again, he dodged me again, making me angry. Swinging, I managed to land a punch to his ribs. He groaned, then chuckled, "That all you got, little mouse?" Taking a swing at him, he moved, grabbed my arm, and flipped me over, landing flat on my back. That was all it took for my Lincoln to push forward. I shifted, laying there, jumping up. I faced Tyler, who stood a few feet away, hands on his hips as Daniels was off to the side. The ground started to shake as the dirt began to circle us. The wind picked up. I was good with sparring in my human form, but the instant I became angry or frustrated, I would use my abilities, which were most of the elements. Wind and earth were my two main ones. Willow, you need to push for control. I tried to pull her back, but she was not having it. My Lincoln wasn't as patient as I was. She had a temper, and it would come out with different emotions. Like Tyler, taunting me is one way to make her mad. This is what we have been working on, control. When I couldn't get her to pull back, the wind now had built up as the dirt swirled higher around us. Willow, listen to me, focus, push her back. You can do this, Willow. Danielle's voice was steady as he spoke. The other thing is she doesn't like taking orders. She likes giving them, and right now, she is looking at Tyler as he is a challenge. Tyler shifted when he saw I couldn't rein her in. I let out a roar. We swung or clawed as if we were fighting him. We were not close, but a gust of wind knocked Tyler down. He sprung back to his feet, but he didn't charge us. I hit him again, sending him flying farther back. We did this a few more times. Each time, he just got up and stood there, letting me hit him again. Growling, I slammed my foot against the ground, causing a ripple of dirt straight at Tyler. He jumped to avoid it, but I hit him again with a gust of wind. When he hit the ground, I went to make a move for him. Daniels jumped in front of me, hands up. Willow, look at me. Pulling my eyes off Tyler, I could look at Daniel. Calm down, Tickler is not a threat. He's not the bad guy. He is only helping you. Just then, a pair of arms came around me, pulling me backward. I struggled but stopped when I felt sparks dancing all over. He let out a grunt. At the contact, mate, my Lincoln purred in my head, looking over my shoulder. Lincoln's Lincoln was looking down at me. All the anger left me. The wind died down as the dirt swirls dropped to the ground. He nuzzled my neck. Calm down, little one. his voice made the last of our fight leave us as I felt myself shifting back, my Leekan pulling back as I shifted, not fighting to stay in control, my body going limp against his as he pulled me closer. I buried my face in his fur, taking in his scent, as it always calmed me, my legs trembled as my strength left me. Every time this happened, it drained my energy. I felt something being placed over my shoulders. That was better, Willow, but we still have a ways to go yet, Daniel says, holding a robe on my shoulders. He held his hand out to Lincoln, and I saw he was handing a pair of shorts to him. Slipping my arms through the openings, I pulled the robe tightly around me, tying it in the front. Lincoln shifted, pulling the shorts on, looking at Daniel's. I then searched for Tyler. He came walking over, smiling at me. Good job, Willow. I smack his arm. Are you crazy? I could have hurt you. Why must you always do that? My voice was shaky. Stop. I hate that I could have hurt him or Daniels. I love being a Leekan. It is a feeling I would never want to give up, but I hate the thought of harming another. This is why I couldn't kill Alpha Lucas when I could have. I don't have that in me to end someone's life. Lincoln wrapped his arms around me. I know he can feel everything I am. I am sorry, Willow. I didn't mean to upset you. It is just part of the training. He bows his head. Why don't you two call it a day? I will take Willow back, Lincoln says to them. They both nod their heads. I watch them both walk off. Come, Lincoln walks me to the bench. Sitting down, he pulls me to his lap, his arms wrapped around my waist. Talk to me, he says as he looks at me, letting out a sigh. I just don't like it when I can't control it or pull her back. It is like she locks in on him, and I can't get her to stop. You lose control when you get angry or frustrated. I can feel it through the bond. I feel out of control, then everything starts to spin out of control more, and she seems to thrive on it. He hummed, rubbing a hand up and down my back. You are trying to hold on too hard. Maybe let her take the lead more, don't fight her on it, she could hurt someone, Lincoln. I can't do that. What if she killed him? I could never live with that. I didn't realize I had started to cry. I felt so frustrated. The harder I tried, the more wild she got. Little one, I don't think she would. She knows who is a threat and who isn't. Our beast can feed off our fears as well as our happy times. If you are fearful while in your Leekan form, you are feeding her to be more aggressive, and that scares you, so you try hard to pull her back, but maybe try to let her lead. Don't be afraid. Trust her. She is, after all, a part of you, and you of her. You two are one in the end. I thought about what he said, and I guess that makes sense. Here, why don't we try again? He stood up, and as he set me on my feet, I just looked at him, but Tyler and Daniels left. He smiled at me as he pulled his shorts off, causing me to blush and look away. I heard him shift. I will train with you, Milo. I saw them bring Dad down over a week ago. I was hoping he would be in a cell nearby. I had so many questions, but they took him farther down the hall from us. Caitlin, of course, tried calling him. Even Cole just watched him walk by, the look of shock clearly on his face as Dad just glared at him. Dad didn't even look my way. Caitlin's cries fell on deaf ears. He wouldn't even glance at us. Milo, how long will they keep us down here? I was sitting on the floor leaning against the stone wall, rolling my head so I could look at her, shrugging my shoulders. Don't know. She looked down the hall. He won't answer you. He knows what we were doing here. Turning my head to look at the wall, she sighed as she sat down on the small cot. Maybe we should not have come here, she whispered, making me look at her again. Her eyes met mine. Maybe we should have just stayed in the pack. At least there we wouldn't be locked up like animals, and whose fault is that? Maybe if you would have left Willow alone, you wouldn't have gotten thrown in here. You both should have kept your nose out of it, Cole said as he leaned against the bars in the front of his cell. They have been pulling him out every day. He will be gone for a while and then return. He was not beaten or bleeding. They are not hurting him. I do believe he is giving up information, this coming from someone who is locked down here with us. Caitlin snipped back. I wasn't looking to rat him out. I was planning on killing him. Caitlin's head whipped in the direction of his cell. Jumping up, I walked to the corner, peeking out, trying to see him. You what? Caitlin asked as she walked to the front of the cell. I was planning on killing him. He shrugged as he looked at us. Though I had succeeded, lo and behold, I didn't. What are you talking about? Then I remembered him calling me, saying rogues killed Dad. It was you, not rogues. I asked him. Yep. He chirped. How could you? You are his beta. Caitlin scoffs at him. He looked at her. And you are his daughter. He growled at her. I wasn't aiming to kill him, just get him removed. Plus I was doing it to secure a spot for myself here. She threw her hands up as she walked back, plopping on the cot. Why? I asked him, with a shrug of his shoulders. Cause I wanted the alpha title. I never did like Lucas even before my brother was his first beta. I can't stand him. I wanted him dead, so I planned everything out and waited till it was time to strike. I can't believe you. Well, now, don't be so quick to judge me. Look what you two were doing. You are no better than me. Ha! We were not trying to kill him. You were. Caitlin yells at him. He just rolled his eyes. You both are so blind and naive. Your father has done horrible things, but I can't say it was passed down to you two. You two are in a category all your own. Now, what are you talking about, Cole? Pass it down to us. You make no sense at all. Caitlin smacked her lips, walking away from the bars again. You two really don't know, do you? He asked as his eyes went from me to Caitlin. Know what, Cole? Spit it out already. He looked down the hall to see if there was any movement from Dad's cell, but nothing. Cole, I growl. I was becoming impatient. I was over this cell and him with his stupid games. Ah, the hell with it. Not like I am getting out any time soon, he said as his hand slid across the bars. He's not your dad. Your mom cheated on him with her true mate, and he is both yours father, not Lucas. Wait, what? Caitlin asked. You heard me, you lie, I gritted out as my hands grabbed the bars. Afraid not, Milo. I was shocked when I heard it, too. Oh, and did you know Lucas had a twin brother? When we didn't say anything no, I take it. He did, but I kinda killed him thinking he was Lucas. You are making no sense, Cole. Just shut up, Caitlin screamed. He just waved her off. I couldn't say anything. I was too shell-shocked to speak. I could feel the truth in his words. Why would he lie? He's not looking to get out. He can't gain anything either by telling us this now. Moving to sit on the cot and putting my head in my hands, I let my thoughts fly. Slipping on my clothes, I step ever so lightly out of the room. I need to get moving again if I want to keep the trackers off my trail. I've been hiding in the rogue territory for the last 2 weeks. I can't believe that damn Alpha changed the plans. He ruined everything. He should have just waited till I showed up, but no, he went ahead and went behind my back and made a different plan. Well, so much for that working. I know they caught him. I still have a few people in the pack who tell me everything. I have to come up with something different now. I know my chances at getting Lincoln are shot to shit, but that don't mean I am not above revenge on that little pathetic girl. I need to find a place I can lay low for a little till I can regroup, and I'm tired of having to give a payment to crash somewhere for the night, leaving so soon. Freezing in my spot, putting on a fake smile, I look over my shoulder, then spin so I am facing him. He sits up, leaning his back against the headboard, his chest was on full display. For a rogue, he was built well and just as good in other departments. I thought I would move on. He smirked at me. I don't think you paid enough for the usage of my place. After all, you are the one on the run from the royal trackers. I am not running. I'm simply avoiding them, like that's a difference. I know the prince wants you. I don't fully care why, but I say if you have paid in full or not, sneaking out won't get you out. OD debit with me? Debit? What the hell are you talking about? I need a place to crash. I paid you for 1 night. That was the deal. He stood up, stalking towards me, his eyes black, his canines elongating, his hands came up one on each side of my head, pinning me against the door. I can see you are used to getting what you want, giving orders, and making people bend to your will. Well, my guess is, sweetheart, I'm not like others. I do not follow orders. I give them. He leaned closer, running his nose down my neck, and I don't think I am done with you yet. Pushing my hands against his chest, I tried to get him to move back, but he did not budge. Look, I don't know what you are looking for, but I don't plan on staying. I need to keep moving. They will find me here. He nipped my neck. Why would that concern me? They haven't found you yet, and here they will not dare to come. I know Lincoln isn't afraid to storm in the territory, but this man makes it sound like he would never attack here. How do you know that? If the prince wants me, you know if he finds me here, he will attack me. He wants my head. Another nip as he moves to the other side of my neck. Because this is my territory, yours. Yes, mine. And who are you? Well, I have a few different names they like to use, but most call me the Rogue King. Lincoln. All right, I think that's about it, Dad said as he stood up. Let's call it a night. We all nodded, getting up and leaving the work lying on the table. Carter had a lead on Holly. She hasn't left the rogue territory, but she keeps moving all over it. But the last few days, she has been in one area. We know the one rogue likes to refer to himself as the king or rogue alpha, but he is neither, just a rogue who thinks he has gotten himself some power by forcing others to follow what he calls leadership, which all he does is have them attacking pack boarders, stealing anything they can get their hands on. He more of a menses than powerful. I am not surprised that Holly got tangled up with him. She has been stepping into his territory for a while now, and he was bound to find out and hire rogues. From there, only a matter of time. I am sure she isn't having a great time. He is noted for his cruel treatment of women. We have found a few of his that he has left for dead when he grows tired of them, or they don't give in to his orders. Not all rogues are damaged or wrong. Some didn't have a choice in the matter of how they became a rogue. We were putting together a plan to raid the territory. I wasn't concerned about this so-called rogue king. My main focus was Holly. We had put together a list of charges to put her on trial. Like Cole, his trial starts next week after we capture Holly. Lucas's fate will depend on Willow. She was the main one hurt by his actions. I haven't had a chance to speak with her about it, but in the end, it will be her decision on whether he lives or dies. River, put that down, and let's get out of here. I am sure the girls are waiting up for you. He glances up from the folder he has been going through for the last 15 minutes. The newly appointed Alpha at Lucas Pack had sent the paperwork, and Cole told us where we would find it. River had found a folder containing information about Mia, and he hadn't put it down. Setting it down, her birthday is next month. He looked at the folder lying there. That's a good thing, right? He looked a little off. She will be 18. I think he meant to say that more to himself. I could see thoughts running through his head. Is there something wrong? He shook his head. She will be able to feel the bond. He got a huge smile on his face as it seemed to set in. Then, he was out of the office before any of us. Dad chuckled. I think someone is excited. I am sure being able to feel your mate, but they can't yet, is hard. Mia said she felt it somewhat, but not entirely like he did. Truthfully, I have no idea how he has kept sane this whole time. Dad agreed with me as we walked out of the office. Dad shut the door, and we walked together till Mom sent a mind link to him that she was still in her office. He said he would retrieve her from there, which we all know how that will go. Those two are worse than teenagers. Making my way to my room, I saw Tyler standing guard at the door. Sir, he bowed his head. You can leave now, Tyler. I am in for the night. Yes, sir. Thank you, Tyler. He gives a slight bow. Turning, he walks down the hall, opening the door and stepping in. I saw her lying on the bed. She was on her side, facing away from the door. I could hear her breathing. She was asleep. We had been training hard these past few days. She had gotten better at controlling her powers in human form, but when she shifted and her Leakin became angry or agitated, she couldn't control it. We worked on getting her to let go and trust her Leakin, but she is still hesitant. She is afraid her Leakin will hurt someone, but I don't think that's the case. Her Leakin is very dominant. She don't like taking orders or letting others lead. She likes to take control. Her Leakin is also very forward. She likes to taunt my Leakin when we train. She drives mine crazy. Her main thing is she will rub against him every chance she gets, which makes controlling his need to mate with her harder. I know Willow isn't ready for that yet, even though her Leakin is. Sitting on the edge of the bed, I run a finger down her cheek, watching as she shivers just a little at my touch. Mate, my beast whines in my head. Lincoln, her voice sounded sleepy sounding. As her eyes open, her head shifting a bit to look at me. Yes, little one, it is me. Leaning down, I kiss her cheek. Let me get changed and I'll come lay with you. I moved to get up when her little hands shot out. grabbing my shirt and pulling me back down, pressing her lips against mine. At first, I was surprised. But within a few seconds, I was kissing her back. A little moan came out of her fingers tugging my hair as I felt her nails scrape my scalp. Groaning, I deepened the kiss, moving over her. Her hands go to my back, digging me through my shirt. I felt her legs wrap around my hips, pulling back, looking at her face. Her eyes were open, and they were pitch black. "Willow," I whispered, resting my forehead against hers. She was breathing as hard as me. Her hips bucked up against me. Shutting my eyes, the feeling of her rubbing against me, I could feel the heat coming from her. I could smell her making it even harder. Her hand grabbed at my back. If she pulled any harder, she would rip my shirt. My control was hanging by a thread, my beast urging me to take her. I didn't want to do anything she wasn't ready for, but the way she is acting right now, I'd say she was pushing for me, too. "Please, Lincoln." Her soft cries didn't help, they only made me rock hard. Pushing on my chest, I lifted just a bit. Reaching down, she grabbed the hem of her shirt and pulled it over her head. She laid there bare, nothing on, not even panties, sucking in a breath as I let my eye roam down her body. She was perfect, Willow. I don't think I can stop once I start, and I don't want to do anything you're not ready for. She didn't say anything, just leaned up and started kissing my neck, giving little nips on my skin. My hips moved on their own, pressing down against her, pinning her to the bed. A gasp left out of her as her legs tightened around my waist, locking her feet together. Growling, I moved her hair, biting her shoulder, letting go, leaning up close to her ear. "You are playing with fire, little one," nipping her earlobe. She grinds herself against me. "Maybe I want to. Maybe I am ready to get burnt." I felt her tongue on my neck as she licked up to my jaw, nipping at it, grabbing both wrists and pinning them above her head. "Don't tease me, Willow. I am barely holding on as it is now. I don't know if you are ready for me." Her face fell a little as she looked up at me. Her body dropped back away from mine, her eyes changing back to their usual color. She wiggled her wrist out of my hold, pulling the sheet to cover her. "Sorry, I didn't mean to." She stopped, turning her head to the side. "I just thought that we, could take the next step, but it's okay if you don't want to." "I just thought." She trailed off again. She still wasn't looking at me. "Hey," I grabbed her chin, making her turn her head back so I could see her face. "Willow, look at me, please." She had her eyes closed. I could see she was fighting tears as one had gathered in the corner of her eyes. "Willow, please, open your eyes." She finally did, and the look about killed me. "I would love to take the next step with you." I didn't mean to sound like I wasn't. "I am only concerned about you. I am more than willing when you are sure you are also ready. I never want you to feel pressured. I want you to decide on your own when you are ready to take that step, not because you think you have to but because you feel you are." Her hand came up as her fingers traced down my cheek along my jaw. "I love how you always put my needs first, Lincoln. I don't think I would have come this far if not for you. I want to be with you in every way possible. I know I still have a long way to go yet, but that road does not seem so long anymore, and that is because of you." She kissed my jaw, "And right now, I am ready to be you completely and fully, so Lincoln, make me yours." Join our Facebook and WhatsApp group for more updates, link is given in description. Rest audiobook will be continued in next episode.